What's up, fuckers? It's Monday, goddammit, and I got content for y'all. That's right. Today's video is a change of pace. I wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite front flipper knives. And most of these are in the collection. A couple of them aren't. Two of them, to be exact, are loaned to the channel. Shout out to Mr. Craig, Saigon Kick. But that's basically what this video is going to be about today. But first, if you do enjoy the content, I'd ask that you would share, like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe, goddammit. It does help the channel. It does trick that algorithm. And it does help your boy to go viral. Okay, enough of that. I think I got a total of 7 or 9 knives. 2 of them we're going to put in the... what the hell did they call that? The honorable mention category. There it is. Spit it out. And then we're going to go with 7. Or maybe I'll do 4 in the honorable mention. I haven't decided. This is kind of on the fly. Knife number 1 that I'm going to put in the honorable mention is the Best Tech Nixie. Now, I had one of this knife when it first dropped last year. I think it dropped last year. This was not my preference as far as the version that I got. But it was sold out for quite a while, and so, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I did want it, but I do not like that Fox carbon fiber. I actually hate it. But this is a good knife. Besides that, you have a couple of options for your deployment. I do believe the steel on this is S35VN, murdered out rendition. And yeah, good front flipping action there for sure. And you also have a cutout. So that's the first honorable mention. This next one I kind of went back and forth on as far as honorable mention or putting it on the list. This is a knife that was released, you know, it isn't a new one. It was released a couple of years ago, I believe. But I'm new to this whole experience with it. And this is the Kubi Royale. And the main reason why this isn't on the top 5, so to speak, or the top 7 is strictly because I haven't had it for a very long time, number 1. And number 2, the jimping is a little aggressive there on the front flipper, but the action is phenomenal. D2 blade steel, once again, murdered out rendition. This is a CM design, Mr. Colin Mason Pierre. Great guy. He's actually one half in what I like to refer to him as is the better half of Devo knives, but great guy, great knife. More to come from that designer, so stay tuned. So those are the 2 honorable mentions. Let's get to the final 7, goddammit. These are in no particular order. These are just great knives with great front flipping action. Next up is going to be one that's got multiple forms of deployment. I've seen this knife on a couple of people's channels as being like the fidget king or whatever, and they're not lying to you. This is the Kaiser Cormorant. This is the micarta version. But yeah, great flipping action on the front. You also got the flipper on the back, and you got your deployment. S35VN, beautiful hollow grind, satin finish. These are the green micarta scales. You can see that this has been handled quite a bit. You can tell because of the oils. I did oil this with some mineral oil at one time, but it's kind of faded. But yeah, great knife. Love it, love it, love it. Would love to check out the titanium version, definitely. All right, this next one, I got a love-hate relationship with, and that is the Petrified Fish Nightingale. Phenomenal. I guess we'll call this a top flipper, front flipper. But I mean, action is superb. The geometry, the way they designed this, I mean, it's just like lighting a lighter, and it flies out there. Love the blade shape, love the blade steel, 14C28N. Absolutely despise these scale designs. I actually, the way they marketed this knife was for women. So I did buy this. I originally bought this for my wife to try to get her into knives. That was unsuccessful. I ended up getting it. This was the white version. I immediately dyed it some type of, I think Kentucky blue maybe is what it was. Played with a little bit of the recipe here, so I don't know. You can see kind of the grain structure showing through there. Looks a lot better like this, but I'm actually working on something with somebody about trying to get some scales made that won't have this wing pattern on it. So stay tuned for that. But that was the Nightingale by Petrified Fish. Great front flipper. Okay, next up is another budget knife with phenomenal action. This is the Miguron Acri 2, I believe. Got this last year when they first dropped. Miguron is a company doing wonderful things, man. They have a good amount of premium knives as well, but they are crushing the game in the budget realm, in my opinion. This one came in when I bought it, I want to say like 52, 54, something like that. Once again, murdered out rendition, black G10 scales, 14C28N. I do believe they had another release that had like a DC something steel, but that's not this version. You can also, even though there's no fuller or anything, that coating, you can go ahead and reverse flick it. It allows you to kind of grab a hold of that blade and flick it out there. But the money shot to me is that front flipper. Phenomenal action. Geometry is great. Jimping is great. Miguron Acri 2. Can't recommend that knife enough. All right, we're down to the home stretch here. These last three. This next one is a special knife to me. And you guys will see more of this on another video shortly. That is the Kubey Momentum, baby. Oh my God. Full disclosure, this was one of the first knives I ever purchased that taught me what good action was supposed to be like and how you can enjoy a knife with good action. I bought this in April of 2022. It actually was released in December of 2021. To be honest with you, actually, the first time I even found out about the knife was I was watching Jared Neve's channel, and he was, praising the knife, and deservedly so. So that was the reason for me to pull the trigger on it. And it was, to this day, one of my favorite knives. And I can only imagine if Kubey would have released a premium version of this with like a premium steel and some titanium scales or something, I would definitely buy it. But the geometry is great. The front flipper has some nice jimping, some soft jimping. Doesn't go up and over the flipper, but just the way that it's designed, it just deploys with such snappiness. Shout out to the OG Sharif Manganis. This is his design. Phenomenal designer, man. He's been in the game for a long time. He's got some new shit about to drop. Keep an eye on that guy. He's got a YouTube channel too, so if you're not following him, please start. D2 blade steel, black G10 scales. They do have a version that is in AUS 10A, but I do prefer the D2. You also have thumb studs for your deployment, so knock yourself out. Fabulous budget knife. Fabulous front flipper. All right, these last two are more on the premium side of things. We're going to first start out with the Pena Mula, baby. That's right, Sons of Liberty. This is a very highly sought after knife. And the reason why I have it here in front of you today is shout out to Mr. Craig, Saigon Kick. This is his knife. Although, full disclosure, I am trying to get him to sell it to me. Don't know how successful that'll be, but that's the truth. But this is the first Pena that I've ever handled. And, these Penas have a big cult following. When they sell out, they go for what they normally go for on the secondary. You usually don't get much of a discount on them. This one in particularly is, I guess, one that is very sought after. I'm not too informed on the Pena line or the Pena knives, so to speak. I do know that they are OEM by Riot. Beautiful hollow grind, M390 blade steel, Tonto apparatus. We've got a overlay of some type of fat carbon. I don't know what they call that, which fat carbon they call it. But yeah, man, as far as the front flipper goes, the jimping is nice and soft. Does not travel all the way up that flipper tab, but it is done. It's a low profile flipper tab at that, but it flies out there, man. Absolutely love it. And then once again, you also have your thumb studs for deployment. So yeah, a couple of options there. That is the Pena Mula. Sons of Liberty, goddammit. Okay, last one on the list. This one is also one that is not in my personal collection. If I can find the goddamn thing. Oh, what did I do with it? What did I do with it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, there it is. This next one is a Sharp by Design. This is the Mini Tempest. This is the Knife Nuts podcast exclusive, I believe, or Knife Junkies podcast exclusive. One of the two. It's an exclusive, though. This was a very limited release on these. We have a purple haze, I want to say, shredded carbon fiber inlay, seamlessly done. But the real star of the show is that front flipper. D10 is on the lighter side, but due to the geometry of that front flipper, it flies out every time. You know, one of the ways I like to judge how good a front flipper is the slow roll. If you're able to slow roll it on the front flipper, that means they did a good job of it, you know. M390 blade steel, Tonto apparatus, full flat grind, satin finish on the blade. There is Sharp by Designs, Brian Nadeau's kind of his pivots that he uses on his knives. I love the way they look, man, you know. Pocket clip is good. And once again, that action is phenomenal. Something I noticed when I was playing with this knife a little bit, something that I'm not kind of liking. You see how when it's halfway open, you can actually see the hole in the blade, which I thought was weird, you know? You see that? I almost feel like that shouldn't be there. I mean, I don't have any of the knives that have that. When you have it in the half open position or any position at all, you're able to actually see the pivot. Oh, wait a minute. Anyways, goddamn, I'm getting lost in the sauce. But that was the Mini Tempest from SBD, Sharp by Design. Well, there y'all have it. Some of the top front flippers I'm playing with in the collection. Most of these are mine, like I mentioned. Those last two weren't. But these are all great knives, man. Great action. Great prices for the most part. I think the high end of these would be these Mini Tempest and the Pena. But the rest of them are fairly priced. A couple of them are actually budgets. But what do y'all think? Do you have any of these knives? Do you have some front flippers you want to share with me? Let me know in the comments, goddammit. I want to hear all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time, cut something, cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers.